How's it going, everyone? This is George, aka Hypothetical YGO, and today I wanted to bring you guys my Tri-Brigade deck profile for the July 2021 format. I've actually been doing some testing with it and everything. I've been playing a couple of remote duel tournaments and I've been doing super well. I've only been losing to pro players really lately. I've lost to Shannon Long and I've lost to Angel Garcia. So it's been super cool and it's been super great. So this deck is absolutely insane right now. I think this particular build, and I think this is the way that we should be going forward with it. I think the zoo cards can be a little bit bricky. I think that it's not really worth it if you can't do Trident, because then your normal summon gets stopped. What do? You don't really play too well. But whenever you're playing every Tri-Brigade name, whenever you're playing so many Tri-Beast in your deck, it's absolutely insane. So without further ado, let's get to the deck profile for pure Tri-Brigade with Rescue Cats. Post Trident ban. The start of the show is Rescue Cat, actually. So Rescue Cat is pretty crazy. Rescue Cat just says summon Kit and Karas for free. So it tributes his cost, and as you see, we're actually playing Gamma in the main deck because it plays into this. Your opponent has to ash this card, or else you pretty much plus a billion off of it. It's pretty crazy. You better get a bunch of names engraved. You get 4 engraved, so for your sure egg play, it does the exact same thing as what Rat Pier did with Trident, but it does it in a different way. Now, yes, sometimes your opponent can imperm this, but that's why we're on 3 copies of every Tri-Brigade name. Yes, we're on 3 copies of everything. So we're on 3 copies of Fractal, 3 copies of Nerval, 3 copies of Kit, and then 3 copies of Karas. 3 copies of every single thing. So the reason why is because you want to see these cards in your hand. Yes, you want to see multiple. You want to see whatever. People are on Valor. People are on Imperm. People are on Droplets. People are on Widow Anchor this format. So you don't want to lose to those. So you want to try and bait as much interaction as possible. Control the resources in your grave so that your plays can go through. And I'm going to talk about that in my next video, which goes over how to play this deck. There are a lot of Twitch moments that I have with this deck that I really want to go over. Some mistakes that I made that I caught later, some plays that I've made that have won me games. So those are plays that I really want to go over with this deck, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. But that is why we're on 3 of every Tri-Brigade name. Otherwise, for the engine, we only play 15 cards for monsters. The rest is filled with hand traps. So, or not the rest of the deck, but you get the idea. So we're on 3 Ash, the Gamma, and the Driver, 2 DD Crow, and 2 Infinite Impermanents. The reason why we're on 2 and 2 is because I don't know what is stronger this format. So I just like being able to see them. I don't want to play like a 1 of and then like 3 DD Crow, or a 1 of and 3 Imperm, so I'm on 2 and 2 just so I see my hand traps, so I see them in multiples. It's really helped. I've been opening 2 hand traps consistently, so the math is really proven there. And then Gamma, once again, you're playing Fractal, which can bait an Ash. You're playing stuff like, you're playing other cards like Rescue Cat, which forces your opponent to Ash. Your opponent can Valor your stuff and everything, and then this can make so many things go live. That's crazy. So, and plus, the reason why I'm on Gamma is because I don't own Talents. Talents is pretty expensive, and I don't want to. Ash hits every deck, period. Hits every deck in many different ways. You can hit Nadir Servant. I played up against Draco Dogmatica. There was stuff in there that I could hit. There was stuff that I could hit in Egyptian God Numeron. So there's everything that can be hit with that. So Imperm, DD Crow, Gamma, and Ash, I believe, is the correct way to go right now. Then for spells, we are on 3 Tenki, 3 Desires, 1 Called By. Tenki, obviously, just to search your Fractal, get your starters in your hand, being able to get those play starters in your hand and just play the game. Desires, even though I'm playing Gamma, I'm still on Desires, and the reason why is because this card just says +1. So that's why you want to be able to draw on your traps, your hand traps, your other interruptions. You want to finish your combo, or you want to finish your setup and just being able to Desires for a couple. Just like in Salamangreats. This deck plays actually kind of similar to Salamangreats. It's able to have better follow-up, I feel. So that is why I really like this deck, and that is why I'm going to continue to play it, even up to the YCS. And then Called by the Grave, obviously, we don't want to lose to stuff like Lancia. So that's why we're on that. And then for traps, we're on 3 Revolts, 3 Strike, and 1 Imperial Order. Imperial Order is an auto win up against so many decks, so many decks. It's an auto win against stuff like Drytron. This here will win your Drytron matchup exclusively. But Imperial Order will win that matchup. It'll win your Sky Striker matchup. It'll win any spell-based matchup, which is huge. Plus, it deals with any main deck back row removal. Revolt, obviously, is the best card in Tri-Brigade ever. And if you're not playing this, you are a fool. However, this card just being able to get a non-targeting banish on your opponent's turn, plus on top of that, being able to get you your follow-up play, get you a surge. Rubal, if your opponent doesn't have enough gas to play through it, plus this is a literal +2, plus a banish on your opponent's turn, which is huge. So that is why this card is insane. And then Strike, just being able to hit hand traps going for game, just being able to hit combo decks in their own game, just being able to try and load up your grave. And then Revolt Strike is really strong as well. So you have to play it. And that's it for our 40 card main deck. Now onto the extra deck for our Tri-Brigade package. We're on 2 Farragets, 1 Bearbroom, 1 Brugall, and then 2 Charade. So the reason why we're on this ratio, you want to, sometimes you end up making 2 Farraget. It has come up before where I make it just so I can load up my grave, and then I can get more attributes to banish off of an access code play. And then if I open Revolt, I don't go for this. I go for this, so I can just draw deeper into my deck to make the Rubal. And then obviously 2 Charade because you're running Revolt. And you need 1 for the Revolt, 1 for follow-up plays. Sorry. Then we are also on 1 Almirage. This can just dump your kit into grave. This can dump your rescue cat into grave as well. This can dump a couple different things. Sometimes I'll use this. I'll link off a kit that I've normal summoned and then use its effect to target like an access code so it can't be destroyed. Or I'll use it up against punishment to target something so it can't be destroyed. And I'll go ahead and banish it for access code just because it's a fire monster. And the only other fire that we have in this deck is Bearbroom. So that's why we play that. Then for Link 2, or then for a generic Link 2, just double Dragon Lords. Double Dragon Lords does so much. This card avoids like everything. So being able to send cards from your hand or field to grave is huge. So there are many instances where I wanted to summon this, and I did. And it just pretty much won me the game. Like being able to just have a being able to just bounce stuff to hand is huge. And you could send like a Nerval or a Kit plus off of that. You could also just send dead cards. You can activate a Tenki, normal summon something, and then just use that Tenki as fodder for your double Dragon Lords, and you're pretty much able to play for free with it. So it's super, super nice. Then we play the 1 Doom Eagle. This card is super, super good right now. So you have to think about it. You're playing up against Sky Strikers. You're playing up against Salamangreats. You're playing up against so many different things. You're playing up against Drytron. This card kills Drytron. They go Alpha, Tribute, Zeta. You shuffle back their Alpha. What do? They do nothing. So that is absolutely insane up against that matchup. So this card is even better than what it was in the past couple formats. Not just for going for game, but as an interruption. Sometimes you can sit on this and win games. Also, you don't understand fun until you have activated this, targeting an Alistair in grave whenever they activate Invocation to shuffle it into the deck. Then we have Access Code and Appaloosa. Access Code to go for game. Appaloosa as a setup, and being able to negate certain cards. Then for our Zeus package, you can still play Zeus in this deck, yes. You can still play Zeus. So, we are on Sky Cavalry Centuria. This card, for those of you that don't know, says if it has XZ material, it cannot be destroyed by battle. So you normal summon your Rescue Cat, or you can go Karas, discard something, normal summon Kit, and link it, or overlay into this. So, you do that, attack into something. And then it also has another effect, which says, at the end of the damage step, if this card battled an opponent's monster, you can detach one XZ material from this card, return that opponent's monster to their hand. So which occasionally does come up. Then you just overlay for your Downer Magician, and then your Zeus. And then you play that way. And it doesn't matter. Then, finally, for the last extra deck card, we're on 1 Omega. This could be pretty much anything. You could even play a Boarload Savage Dragon. The reason why I'm on Omega is just because Omega can just deal with... if your opponent gammas you, or if you are able to gamma your opponent, that you just punish them with the Omega by ripping another card out of their hand and making it so they can't play. Plus, if you can do that, in game 1, you get sometimes even full knowledge of what they're playing. So that makes it super, super nice. And then we're onto our side deck. So the side deck is where it gets really, really interesting. So obviously, like I said, we're siding the third D to Crow and the third Imperm, just so that we can see more hand traps. So post-siding, going second, I'm playing about 12 to 15 hand traps. So that is why I'm on this. Plus, you can side out like Imperm and then side in other hand traps that are better up against a matchup. If I'm up against Virtual World, for instance, I can side out Imperm, I could side in a Crow, and I could side in other hand traps, and my entire engine is still fine. So that is why I'm on that. Then for the MVP of this deck, I'm so glad I can play this card again. 3 Eradicator Epidemic Virus. For those of you that don't know, this wins you every trap or spell-based matchup pretty much instantly. So what this does is you tribute a dark monster with 2,500 more attack, aka your Sure Egg, call spell or trap, look at your opponent's hand, and all cards they control, and all cards they draw until the end of their third turn. Destroy all spells or traps in their hand. This card is so insane. I played up against Draco Dogmatica, game 2. I had Revolt in this set with a Rugal on board. And I went, during standby, I activated Revolt, and so he activated Lightning Storm, call monsters, and I chained this, tributed my Sure Egg, and called traps. He got rid of so he had Dynamite Knight, Lightning Storm, and he got rid of an Imperial Order, Apocalypse in return. And I pretty much won that game instantly because of it. So this card is pretty much insane, and I'm so, so glad to have it back. I've been able to play this since I pretty much first started playing about 2 years ago, so I'm super happy that I can play it now. Then we're on 3 Gamma Seal. These would be good autos, but I don't own them. Just a Kaiju, it just helps with the Adagnister matchup, plus it helps with random stuff like Salad, helps with Sky Striker because it turns off a bunch of their back row, helps with so many different things. So that's why I'm siding this, especially the Adagnister matchup. Having to deal with that towers is kind of a pain. Then we were on 3 Droll and Lockbird. This is for Drytron and pretty much any other like Surge heavy deck. Not really Sky Strikers or anything else, mainly Drytron. But this does occasionally come in against other decks. But this card's just super, super good, being able to stop searches and everything. Then finally for back row, we were on 3 copies of Twin Twisters and the 1 Feather Duster. The reason why we're not on Cosmic, which I would love to play, especially up against Sky Strikers, if they activate Engage, Cosmic Cycle on it, you're done with it for the rest of the game. The reason why I'm on Twin is because, for 1, it hits more back row. 2, people are going to be siding in Latia against this deck, so you definitely just want to play the Twin anyway. And the reason why I'm not main decking the Feather Duster is because Feather Duster, it sometimes doesn't come up, and I don't want to see it sometimes in my opening hand. Plus, going into games 2 and 3, I'd rather side into these cards because game 1, sometimes people are going to be man decking Imperial Order. Against this deck, if your opponent's smart, they're going to side out that Imperial Order because it does nothing to it. The most it stops is Desires and Tenki, which is not really a ton. You can play Hand Traps. You have so much space in this deck for anything other than spells, so it's super good that you can just play other cards. And really, that's it for the deck. This deck is absolutely insane still right now. And I think Tri-Brigade is in an even better spot than it was previously. I think this deck, as much as you hit it, just keeps getting better and better. And I think it could still win events. And I think it can still go on to be the best deck of the format. So if you guys agree with me, let me know down below. And let me know what deck you're on this format. Right now it's this. Like I said, I'm going to switch between this and Salamangreat. I think Salamangreat's in a strong spot soon once the format becomes more defined. However, right now I don't think it's in the greatest spot. But let me know your thoughts down below, and let me know if you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave a like. Follow me on Twitch and join the Discord. I really want to start going over like DB plays and whatnot and start trying to help you guys get better at the game. Help my community learn how to get into the game and everything, because I absolutely love playing it and I want to play with it, or play this game with you guys. So feel free to join my Discord, follow me on Twitch, and go ahead and like, subscribe, comment down below what your thoughts are on the format. And yeah, this has been Hypothetical YGO, aka George, and I'll see you guys later.